Alright, we're going to take a look at something called the product rule for exponents, and what it says if I multiply a base b and a of the same base here, b to the m times b to the n, then what that says I'm going to do is I'm going to add the exponents. So that's our product rule. Maybe you want to make a flashcard. So you remember when I multiply like bases, the base b's, I add the exponents. So to give you an illustration of this rule, we're going to look at 3 squared times 3 to the 5th. And remember, the exponent just means repeated multiplication. So the 3 squared means 3 times 3. The 3 to the 5th means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So how many 3's do we have all together there? If we add them all up, it looks like we have 7. So that means 3 multiplied by itself 7 times, which is the same thing as if I add the exponents. So notice that I did not multiply the 3's together and get 9. 9 to the 7th is a much larger number. Let me see if a calculator right here. 9 to the 7th is 4,782,969. 3 to the 7th is a little smaller. It's about 2,000, 2,187. So when we multiply like bases, we got to remember that we add the exponents. So that's one thing to kind of get used to. Okay, so then we'll write this out in words. So when multiply monomials, we multiply the coefficients. That's the numbers in front. And we add, so multiply the coefficients and add the exponents on the common bases. So we'll do a couple examples. So let's say we have x squared times x to the 5th. So we have like bases of x, so we're going to say that's x, and then we add our exponents, 2 plus 5. Would be x to the 7th. Alright, let's do 2x and then multiplied by negative 5x. So it says when multiply monomials, we're going to multiply the coefficients. So we're going to do the 2 times negative 5, and we're going to add the exponent. So this x times x would be x squared. Okay, so the 2 times negative 5 will give us the negative 10, and then we have x to the first power times x to the first power, so we add those first powers and we get 2. Okay, we'll do 2 more. So negative 3x squared times 13x squared. So we will multiply the coefficients of negative 3 and 13, and then we have x squared times x squared. Negative 3 times 13 is negative 39. X squared times x squared, so we're going to add the exponents. 2 plus 2 is 4. Alright, we'll look at one more, and we'll throw in 2 variables. Alright, so we have 2xy squared times 3x cubed y to the 5th. So we're going to multiply the coefficients of 2 times 3, and we're going to get 6. Then we're going to focus on x. So we have x and x cubed. So when I multiply them, remember the x has a first power, so we have first power and third power. So we're going to add the 1 and the 3, and we get 4. And then we have y squared times y to the 5th. So we'll add the 2 and the 5 to make a 7. And they can get a little bit more complicated than that, but if you understand the basics, you multiply the coefficients, and then you add the exponents on the like bases. That's all you got to do. Then you can do foiling, you can do multiplying a monomial times a binomial, polynomial by a polynomial. This basic concept applies to a lot of different things.